Today we're looking at 2 networking games that are coming to Kickstarter soon. Hey gang, thanks for joining us at Tangent Mouse Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and today we are checking out 2 games that are coming to Kickstarter soon from Ludo Ninja, Clickport and Speedport.
Both of these games feature some pretty unique components. They're not actually networking games, but in the game you will be using networking cables to play the game, so you gotta call them networking games, I think.
Yeah. Right, one is a dexterity racing puzzle, and the other is an abstract pattern building game.
Let's jump in and we'll give you an overview of these 2 games.
In the game Speedport, each player has their own network board and 4 cables.
Each round, a new pattern card will be revealed, and players must race to create the matching pattern on their board.
As soon as one player has completed the pattern, they will yell, "Speedport," check to make sure it's correct, and then claim the card as a point before revealing the next.
And the first player to claim 5 cards wins. Now, we did get to play test this a few times, and we found that if you don't win the round, it is actually easier to play the next round because you have fewer of your ports locked in to the right and wrong places. And so even though one person might be faster at doing it in general, the fact that you didn't win it might actually help set you up for the next round.
We also found it really easy to make sure that some of our younger players enjoyed their experiences, so it's easy to add in a couple house rules when we're playing with younger players.
For sure. The other game that they are bringing to Kickstarter is called Clickport. Now, it's a strategic game in which players are acting as server room workers, and they'll be creating patterns on a single board using those same network cables.
This game is also for 2 to 6 players, and in it players will take turns either clicking in one end of a cable or removing 2 ports,
or using their eye tiers, they can take special actions. There are 3 decks of special action cards that players will mix and match to play with each game.
At the start of the game, each player will receive their own private goal, and as soon as one player is able to achieve their goal, they win.
We've had the opportunity to play both of these games a number of times. You are going to get a crazy race action experience with the Speedport game, and then in Clickport it's going to be a lot more strategic, thoughtful game, and you're going to get a pretty similar gameplay experience, I think, every time, and that's regardless of player count. So when you play with a larger player count, you use the full both sides of the board. When you only play with a smaller player count, you use half the board, which means you are going to be trying to achieve the same goals as the other players at the same time, and you're absolutely going to get in each other's way when you're trying to do that.
Yeah, so you really have to make some decisions about, oh, Will placed a red port right where I need it. Do I build off of that and hope that he doesn't thwart my plans by placing things in the wrong place? Or maybe I'll start somewhere else.
The cards that you're going to get, those goal cards, are going to feature the color pattern that you have to create. You do have to create it in the matching orientation. However, they don't have to be in the exact same space. You just have to have red, blue, green here and all the patterns here. Or you are allowed to flip it. But if you flip it, then both of your patterns have to be flipped while you're doing it. Also, there are white squares that are on your pattern card, and those colors don't matter for you. They can be empty, they can be full of other players' cards, and so as she was saying, trying to figure out, like, he used red here, but he stuck blue. Well, blue doesn't matter because it's a white space. I can still keep working in this space. Those are the kind of decisions you're going to be making in the game.
Yeah, and then those action cards will be switched out every game, so it can really change up what types of things you may be able to spend your tokens to basically break the rules or do something additional or more powerful, and some of those you may need to plan ahead for, like, oh, I need to move these cables out of the way because we'll put them in a spot that doesn't I don't need it there, so I may wait because if I place another one of these in, I can use this action to remove a bunch and clear some space so I can build what I need to.
And it is going to be important to do that, especially in a lower player count game. We found that in the games where it was just the 2 of us, it was kind of just can I achieve as many goals as I can on my team on my turn? You're pretty much going to have to make sure you remove some of their cables early in the game. Otherwise, it's just going to be a race to who can click in the right amount of stuff at the right time.
Yeah. Now keep in mind these are prototype components, and so we've got 3D printed boards, but they're actual network cables, and even though we were fast and furious on clicking and unclicking them out of our boards, they did seem to hold up pretty well. So we'll be interested to see what the final components look like that they publish.
Yeah, and we don't know what that final campaign is going to look like either. Assumedly, you'll be able to buy the games individually or together in bundles. So if you want to know more about what's going on in their campaign, be sure to check it out on Kickstarter now. And then, as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in, following along, liking all of our videos here at Tantrum House. And then, as always, thank you guys for tuning in, following along, checking out all of our videos here at TantrumCon. Nope, Tantrum House.
Tantrum House. But come to TantrumCon and play the games.